If you're thinking about moving to the Las Vegas area and wondering what it's really like to live here, today we're going to be going over everything that we love about living in Las Vegas.
Hey everyone, I'm Steve.
And I'm Kristen.
We are the Thomas Group with Love Local Real Estate, your local Las Vegas and Henderson realtors. I'm really excited today to share with you and introduce you to, if you haven't already met any of these beautiful ladies, our team of agents on the Thomas Group. Here we've got Kat, we've got Brittany, we've got Christina, we've got Katie, and of course my beautiful wife, Kristen. So today we thought we'd get everyone together and have kind of a light-hearted conversation about all of the things that we love about living in Las Vegas. And if you haven't seen our video on the things that we dislike about living in Las Vegas, make sure you watch that one too. But this episode, if you like, is just about all the things that we absolutely love. So I'm going to kick it off. And
really quick though, before we get into it, if you guys are thinking about moving to Las Vegas and you want to talk to us, want a free consultation, we do offer that. We would absolutely love to help everyone. And you can find our information at thethomasgrouplv.com. And also, if you haven't yet subscribed, please hit that subscribe button. We truly appreciate it.
Awesome. So we're going to all have two points, right, you guys? And we'll all share one point, and then we'll go around and we'll talk about another point. Now, mine, I think, is a little bit boring, but I can't tell you how important I feel it is, and it's the weather. Yeah. All right?
Yes.
We all agree, like, the weather's pretty awesome here.
Yeah.
It's just seeing a blue sky, like, every day makes me feel like my energy's higher. My well-being is better. I feel more motivated. I'm more invigorated. And growing up in the UK where it was like cloudy and rainy and miserable, and Kristen's from Michigan.
Yeah, we have a lot of East Coasters. We have Michigan, we have Pennsylvania.
Florida, but definitely not like that there.
Yeah.
So I would say like the first thing that I absolutely love about living here is just the weather. And just like going a little bit deeper on that, the sunsets out here are incredible.
Yes.
Like, actually, Kristen, Katie, and myself, we used to work on cruise ships, and we've traveled around the world, and we've seen the best sunsets all around the world. And wouldn't you agree, Katie, that like the sunsets out here are incredible?
Oh yeah, the colors, like the reds and the yellows and the orange. Yeah, it's stunning.
It's different.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that would be my first. What do you reckon, Brittany? What's yours?
Well, I think actually you might want to fight me on this one, but one of my likes is that living here, everyone wants to come visit. And I actually I prefer them to stay with me. I don't want them to get a hotel. I want them to stay with me. So we can wake up and be together and just have our day together. And a lot of people maybe don't realize, but locals don't always go out on the Strip. Right. So I save the things on the Strip because there's amazing things. I save that for when people come to town. So I enjoy the tourist Las Vegas with my tourist guests, and not being from here, from Michigan, it's nice that everyone comes to visit. So you get your family and your friends, and you have to miss everyone all the time.
Yeah, and I would have to say that, and because we talked about that, that's a dislike of mine, that we can't get rid of people. Like, and especially because we've got friends, like we're very blessed to have friends all over the world. But now we've got friends all over the world. Everyone comes through Vegas.
Yeah, which is awesome.
Yeah. It can be expensive. I just lost $500 the other night, and I was only out 4 hours because I had a friend that wanted to go gambling on the Strip.
Oh, the friend wanted to gamble?
Was that on dinner or was that gambling?
Yeah, exactly. Right. Yeah. So, cool.
So one of my favorite things is the fact that we can get to so many different outdoor activities in just like a day trip or maybe a weekend. It's only 4 hours to the beach. You can drive to Tahoe and go skiing. There's Bryan's Head, snowboarding. Horseshoe Bend is really awesome. I just went a couple weeks ago. It's part of the Grand Canyon and has the Colorado River going through it. And it's just gorgeous. You can go out to the edge, and it's actually like really easy of a hike. So like if like anybody can go do it.
Yeah.
But you
the
have
national
this-
parks are-
Yeah. Oh my God.
Mhm.
Beautiful.
Moab.
And yeah, it's like 4 hours to drive there. Yeah. Moab, Zion.
Zion, Arches,
Yeah. Yeah.
Badlands.
Yeah, you can
Yeah,
literally
everything.
snow, hike,
Mhm.
mountain bike,
Ocean.
ocean surf.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
everything within like
everything.
4 hours.
Yeah,
Mhm.
we're so lucky.
So it's a very,
Yeah.
very interesting location.
Diverse. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my thing that I love about living here is the airport. So a couple things with the airport. First of all, it's super centrally located. You can pretty much get to the airport within, I mean, if you're in Henderson, 15 minutes. Like we always say, like when our guests are visiting us and not leaving, we're like, listen, just wait to call us until you pick up your bags because it's not like we're driving an hour. Get your bags. By the time we leave our house,
Yeah.
we're going to be there. So that's a really cool thing about it. And then also because we're luring our tourists in, the flights for us to go elsewhere is really cheap. So when we get a round trip ticket, it's so inexpensive. Like my best friend lived in Boise for a while, and she didn't realize how important it was to have an international airport that you can get flights in and out of. Because for Boise, you always had to fly to a different airport to then go somewhere else, and it was so expensive.
Yeah.
So
Just,
I love that.
Just by talking a little bit more about the location of like the strip and the airport. You know, one of the great things about Las Vegas being a relatively new city, and in comparison to other cities around the country and the world, is that everything's right in the middle. So it doesn't matter where you live in Las Vegas, whether it's the northeast, northwest, southwest. You're 25, 30 minutes tops. To reach the airport.
Good.
So and because the infrastructure and how the roads are routed, it makes the commute really, really efficient and easy.
Yeah.
Easy, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Even when there's traffic, we're like, oh, there's traffic. And it adds like 5 minutes. Everyone from California laughs at us.
We're spoiled.
Yeah.
We're spoiled.
Yeah, it pretty much takes 30 minutes to get anywhere in Vegas. 20, 30 minutes.
Seriously.
What about yours, Katie?
So my like about Las Vegas is the shows. I mean, that is a very touristy thing. People come here, they go on the strip, they gamble, they watch the shows, nightlife. But it's great being a local and, just having that option of like, hey, should we go see a show tonight? And there's like mega stars that have residencies here, like Lady Gaga, Gwen Stefani, Aerosmith, whereas other places you might have to wait until they come into town and tour. But here, there's just, you could see anything, any night, pretty much.
Let me ask a question. You guys put your hand up if you've danced in a show on the strip. These guys are all professional dancers.
Where's your hand, Steve?
Yeah, your hand didn't go up.
Well, I've danced on the strip, but not in the same capacity.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Rolling around on the strip. Too. Yeah.
Another cool thing too is locals discounts. I mean, you
Yes.
get in with the right people.
That is true.
We're all performers.
Yeah. Yeah.
Got the hookup.
Yeah, got the hookup. Exactly.
That is a great perk.
What about you, Kat?
So I love that you can have this kind of a city feel. Obviously not as big as some cities, but you do get the culture, the shows, the art. But you can still go home and not be in a city. You're not in an apartment building with, crazy sirens, big city feel. But you can get away and have kind of the best of both worlds. Like you not even just the strip, but just like downtown Summerlin, different town squares and stuff like that. Just so many options here. It's
And you've
really
lived
great.
in New York City, right? So you know what real city life is like.
That's why, it's obviously not as large as New York City or a city like that. But, I've lived in pretty much big cities or at least like tourist cities my whole life. So it's nice to still have a little bit of that.
I've heard Vegas called a big little city. And
Yeah.
I think that is so true. Right?
And that's what I mean by like you can still get away and go home and you're actually home instead of, okay, I'm still like I'm on all the time. Like living in New York, you're always like, all right, I'm on. I can't ever like relax. But you can do that here, which is great.
Yeah.
Sure can.
Yeah.
Awesome. So I'll tell you what my second point is that I really love that I didn't realize that I loved. and it's a 24-hour convenience.
Yeah, we're spoiled.
I didn't realize how important it is to like be able to go and get a pint of milk at 6 a.m. when I need it, or you know, loaf of bread or whatever, or and this is actually really crazy and fun at the same time. In the local bar by ours, Timbers, the happy hour is from 12 a.m. till 4 a.m.
Yeah, they all do that. Reverse happy hour.
It's the craziest, wildest thing. And not that I'm condoning, boozing 24 hours a day. You know, if you want to, it's the supermarkets, right? And they're all open 24 hours and stuff, and the gas stations as well. And people are often surprised when they move here for the first time and they find out we've got slot machines in this.
Oh my gosh, everywhere. It's so weird.
Yeah, and in the gas stations too.
I found that weird first moving to Vegas. Yeah. I was like, why is there a slot machine?
Right. But people are fighting that.
Yeah.
I think sorry, go ahead. I was just saying, because we've all been in shows, we've all probably gone grocery shopping at midnight.
2 a.m.
Yeah.
And you have people, you walk in and they're friendly because that's their shift. Like that's what they're used to. In other cities, if they're open late, they're kind of like, how can I help you? Why are you here?
Right.
Las Vegas attracts a lot of interesting people. I mean, you'll see all sorts of people out and about, but everyone's friendly and on the most part.
And they say that New York City is the city that never sleeps, but I mean, honestly, after living in both places, it's here.
It's Vegas. I know. Well, now if I go back to Michigan or whatever, and people go out east, you go out at 11:30 and then last call is at 1:30.
Yeah.
Wait, okay, we're done now. Time
to go home.
It's a good thing you don't have to binge drink here because you can just do it all night. Right, Brittany, what about your second?
My second is I love how the city's always changing. There's always different things coming into town. We get the SEMA shows, so you get all these great cars and everything that goes with that and events that go with that. There's different festivals that come to town. We have the Greek festival, the San Gennaro Fest, which is all Italian food. So it's not just, should we do dinner and a movie again? There's always something happening, and you get spoiled when you do go back home to Michigan or wherever you're from, and there's just, let's go to the bar at the end of the street.
Yeah.
You get all those choices and you're spoiled.
Were any of you guys surprised that when you moved here that how much land and stuff is still out there and how much is developing in the suburban areas?
I'm still surprised after living here for almost 6 years and with all the new builds and stuff that there's still so much
and we're all selling real estate and we're seeing that the city's continuously changing. Growing, to your point. And I think it's only onwards and upwards with that regard. So that's a really good point, Brittany.
Yeah.
What about you, Christina?
So another thing I really like, especially because I'm coming from the East Coast, I grew up in Philadelphia, is the culture, which is surprising to say about Las Vegas, but there really is still some culture here. When I first moved here, I moved here for the Nevada Ballet Theater. So that was kind of my first introduction. And actually when I first started dancing with the company, we were performing on the Strip. But then they built up the Smith Center. And so now we have this beautiful theater, and we have the symphony and the ballet and the Broadway shows that come in and out. So so you still get that here as well, which is really cool. So.
Yeah, I have that membership to the Smith Center. So all the Broadway shows that come in every month, it's the standing date with one of my friends. We go and see whatever's coming in.
Oh, that's so cool.
Don't miss anything.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And also too, the Arts District downtown, that's really growing.
Yes.
That's
definitely.
The small, cool, we're getting our little hipster vibe. We have Area 15 now.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is a great spot.
The smaller culture is definitely building up.
Yeah, and I mean, not to, you've worked Chinatown as well. If you love Asian food, there's we've got a great Chinatown here, and there's lots of little pocket communities as well, and Hawaiian, as well.
There's a lot of Hawaiian.
Huge Hawaiian culture here as well. what do they call it? The ninth
The
island.
Ninth Island.
Yeah. Unbelievable, right? You'd think like people that live in Hawaii would want to go like somewhere else, like that's like close to water or whatever. I mean, I'm not that I'm categorizing everyone from Hawaii, but you know, coming to the desert and is like the opposite, and it really surprised me. But we love our Hawaiian culture here, and they do the what are those those like slushy things that we get with all the colours in?
Snow cones?
Yeah, snow cones. They seem to have. What you're looking at me like? What are you doing?
Yeah, I don't know. I've never
They have like a
gotten a snow
monopoly on the
cone.
snow
No,
cone
we have.
business.
Because we went to a food truck place down at Sunset Station because they had all food trucks.
Food fest.
Oh, the
Food
Foodie
fest.
Fest. Yeah.
Foodie
I
fest.
was
That's another really awesome thing that comes
Yeah.
in.
Yes. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, it's so good.
And then we got like a Hawaiian iced whatever it was. And
I don't remember. Maybe that was your other wife.
so it was great. Yeah.
Great.
My other wife loved it.
Cool. So my second thing that I love about living here is not like super exciting, but I mean, it is exciting. It's the low taxes. So
It's exciting. Everyone from California that's moving here right now and has been for a long time it's a big driving factor.
it is a big driving factor. So so we don't have it. I'm sure everybody knows this, but we don't have a state income tax. Our property taxes are super low. I mean, we are really relying on the tourism taxes from the hotels and stuff. There are some downsides to it, which we'll talk about in our dislikes video. But overall, I love having the low taxes.
Fun fact about
Tell us, girl.
The casinos and the money that comes from that. The libraries out here are so incredibly nice. I don't know if you guys have ever noticed that. It's because they're funded by the casinos.
That's really a cool
Yeah.
point. I didn't actually know that.
They're all of them are always like so well maintained, and the buildings are nice.
They're good.
Oh.
They have a really good selection. It's always nice and air conditioned and taken care of. It's because the casinos, I don't know if there was an agreement back in the day or what the percentage is, but I do know that they're paid for by the casino income.
Yeah, so you
Good
guys,
fact.
when you're coming and you're staying in the hotels and you're paying the resort tax, you're helping kids read.
Yeah.
No complaining.
No complaining, yeah.
Yeah, thanks, casinos. My next thing that I really love about Las Vegas is the hiking. Like, there's just so many different hikes that we have, which I don't know if people realize. You know, there's Red Rock. We did a Red Rock video, Christina and I.
Yeah.
And then the four of us girls did a Gold Strike
That
video
was hard.
in Boulder City.
That was fun.
Two of us could not move. I drove home and got out of my car and I literally couldn't walk.
Yeah, that was a hard one. Right. We were like climbing down boulders with like ropes. And that was a more experienced one.
Adventurous.
It was fun.
That's
though.
Yeah.
First time hiking. I was
Wow.
watching the video, so definitely watch
Yes.
to see if I made it out alive.
Well, you did. You're here.
Well, obviously I made it out alive, but you know how I was at the end of the hike.
Yeah. And then we also have Mount Charleston too. The hiking up there is gorgeous,
Yeah.
especially in the summer. It's like 20 degrees cooler than it is in Las Vegas. So it's.
I have to admit, when I first came to Las Vegas, like many people, was on, you know, a bachelor party or a, you know, bachelorette do sort of thing or a short weekend. I was partying, dancing on the strip all night, and
With your other wife.
you know, sleeping most of the day. And it was only actually when Kristen and I drove here from Michigan, and it was in the day, and I saw all of the mountains around us. I was like, wow.
Yeah.
All of this is right here because I love mountain biking and hiking.
Yeah.
And then, you know, when you realize that there's literally hundreds of miles of trails that like back up, you know, off from Summerlin down in Henderson. I mean, all over the valley. So if you're an outdoorsy person, it's great. In fact, talking about outdoorsy person, the guy that climbed the wall, what's that on that video?
Oh, Alex.
Alex. Yeah, he lives here in town. The guy that free climbed
Yes.
the
Free solo?
Yeah.
free solo. Yeah,
Yeah, he lives here.
here in town. So if you're thinking about someone who's like 100% outdoors and he, you know, picked here, that's got to be speaking for itself.
Right.
So
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. You see the rock climbers, like when you're out hiking, you know, you see them up on the rocks. It's amazing. You're like, wow.
it's
Yeah.
awesome.
Cool.
Something for everybody here. For
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely. My second like is lack of bugs and lack of humidity.
Yes.
Now, growing up in Florida, living in New York, you don't realize how much humidity is there until you leave. And I don't mean leave, go on vacation. I mean, live here 5 or 6 years and you go back home you get off the plane and I literally feel like there's just a wall of humidity that hits you. I mean, your sheets don't feel completely dry, and it's amazing how quick you forget that though, living here. I mean, I think it was 2 years and we went back to visit and just blew me away. So yeah, if you're tired of the humidity, definitely come out here. We don't have mosquitoes, and you can sit outside at a fire pit and not get eaten alive by
the no bugs is a real big one.
It's
a huge one. Like where I grew up, there was like little we used to call them mozzies, but they weren't really mosquitoes, but they just used to bite gnats. And you can't picnic or anything, or like
so
flies
you
around.
can't do anything.
It's not like that at all here.
I was gonna say too, all the modern builders now, they're building those like giant stacking doors that you could just really open up. You can't do that in other parts of the country. All my clients are like, wait, what flies here? I'm like, you're pretty good.
Yeah.
Watch out for crickets at dusk. But other than that, it's awesome. So nice.
Yeah.
So hey, you guys, thank you so much for tuning in and watching the video on all the things that we like about living in Las Vegas. We hope that you got some fun little facts and some tips, and maybe learned something that you didn't know about living in Las Vegas. As I mentioned, we have also done a video on the things that we dislike, because we want to be totally honest and open with you. So if you want to learn all the things that we dislike, make sure you watch that video. And again, if you haven't yet subscribed to our channel, please do so. We really, really appreciate it. That way you can stay up to date on everything that's happening in Las Vegas. You can follow the girls on video tours and all sorts of cool things that they're getting up to. And of course, if you want to reach out to us and you need some help, we absolutely would love to help you. You can find all of our info at thethomasgrouplv.com. But from myself, Kristen, and the whole team, thanks so much for watching.
Thanks.
See you again.